So there were some new updates in My Hero Ultra Rumble, and this update brought some good things. The first thing, of course, is it brought a new duos mode, and this mode is pretty good, but for some reason I still have my teammates quitting on me, so it kind of defeats the purpose of that. And we also got Endeavor, a new character I know a lot of people have been waiting for, and he pretty much delivers on all the areas that you would expect, you know, when it comes to high damage, high movement, and all those things, but there might be some things you don't know about Endeavor, and that's what we're going to be doing in today's video, giving you the counters and some of the good things that go with Endeavor. So, the anime question for today is going to be, who do you think was a better DLC, Endeavor or Aizawa? But yeah, in today's video, like I said, we're going to be giving you all the key points, breaking down the full DLC, and, you know, giving it a final score at the end of the video. So, hey man, if this is something you think you might be interested in, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn the bell, do all those nice things, and let's just go ahead and hop straight into this video. So, I didn't mention, but this is actually the start of Season 2. So, Endeavor is the first character of many that we'll be getting for this season. But when we talk about Endeavor, he's a strike class, you know, rightfully so. He deals out a lot of damage, and he comes with a pretty cool special action, and you can do 3 different things with this special action. The first thing is if you double jump, so you know if you press the jump button and press the jump button the first time, and the second time you hold it, it's gonna allow you to hover, and this actually slows your special action gauge, the slowest of the 3 options you can do. The second option is when you dash. If you jump and you dash in the midair, you're basically gonna fly, and this allows you to cover some ground pretty quickly, but it will drain the special action gauge pretty quickly. And the second thing is just the high jump. So if you're on the ground and you just press this button, press the special action, it's gonna allow you to jump up into the air, and you can transition to the other options from this just high jump. So if you high jump and then press the jump button and hold it, you'll hover, or if you high jump and then hold the dash button, you'll actually be able to just fly. So this is pretty cool, and the flight has, like I said, a pretty nice distance. And some weaknesses of this though, like I said, it drains pretty fast. So once you use this is pretty much your only movement that you can do with him that's pretty quick. So when you drain this special action, you're kind of vulnerable in having to dodge or move around however you can. So we move over to the Alpha Quirk. The Alpha Quirk is going to be the Burning Ray, and this thing starts with only 3 shots, but you can get a max of 7 once you finally upgrade it all the way to the top. And you hold and basically shoot, and it's not just a single shot, so each round that you have is basically you holding it and firing out a beam, which is pretty cool. And like I said, a strength of this is, like I said, it starts with 3 shots and you can hold it. Some weaknesses for this move though is that it doesn't break through Kendo's shield, and it also doesn't do anything for Mr. Compress's shield. But for Mr. Compress, the thing is, it doesn't like reflect and come back to you. Mr. Compress will just block it, so at least you're not getting that damage right back at you. And this is pretty good for just melting down health, and it also has a pretty good range. I wouldn't say it's the farthest range. I would still say that Todoroki's Alpha Quirk goes farther than this one, but it's still pretty good. The Beta Quirk is going to be the Searing Arrow, which this is where I think is the powerhouse of this DLC. And it starts off at 1 shot, and you can get a max of 3 shots when you fully upgrade it. And some strengths of this, like I said, it has insane range, and it's good for support. So as you upgrade it, the explosion is going to get bigger. And it has a pillar, and the thing about this pillar is you can hit people from different directions. So if you shoot it on like the wall, the pillar will come from the wall, and it can allow you to hit somebody from around the corner without them even seeing you. This is pretty crazy, and it's a double strike. So the first hit, and then when the pillar comes is the second hit. So weaknesses of this though, like I said, it starts off at 1 shot, and this doesn't do anything for Kendo's shield or Mr. Compress's shield. And Mr. Compress actually will flip this back to you. With Kendo's shield, you can get around it if you do what I said, like where you hit the wall and then hit the explosion from behind. So this is definitely my favorite quirk of the 3 quirks that he got. We move over to his Gamma Quirk. This is going to be the Prominence Burn. And basically you're just firing out a big beam. And the strengths of this is it's leveled up, has a great range. So the range is pretty good, and it has good damage whenever you level it up. And this thing ignores walls and shields. So he was able to go through Mr. Compress, Cementos, Todoroki, and Dabi. So this thing has pretty good damage. And it was very surprising with Cementos that it just completely ignores the wall. Now weakness, like I said, this thing stays at 1 shot. So you can't get more than 1 shot for this, and it doesn't go through Kendo's shield. Kendo can still block it, but more times than not, the Prominence Burn is going to last longer than her shield lasts. And like I said, this leaves you vulnerable, so it gives you like a little bit of armor, like where you're sitting there and it can't be knocked out of it, but you can take damage and you're stuck in this position. There's not really a way to cancel it. And also one thing that I didn't like about Prominence Burn that I noticed, when you're on the enemy side and somebody's getting ready to use Prominence Burn, there's kind of like a little bit like a beam, like, you know, kind of like when you see in the boss battles where they have like the lines that's letting you know that a big strike is getting ready to come. That's what Prominence Burn does, and it's pretty much an indicator that you're getting ready to use it, and any smart person usually dodges out of the way. So I'd really like them to maybe get rid of this and not give, like, you know, this crutch for defensive players to be able to see when you're using Prominence Burn. But those are some key things about some of the quirks, and like I said, just some of the key things about the character. Endeavor has pretty great range. He has good mobility, but he struggles when he doesn't have his special action because his alpha quirk has no movement abilities, so it's really just for damage. All of his quirks, his alpha, gamma, and beta quirk, are all for damage. There's no movement advances with that, so your only movement is the special action. And Ida is a pretty good character against Endeavor. I had a little bit of trouble going up against Ida because of his quick movement, and it just wasn't easy. But if we're given the final grades for the things that Endeavor does and just him as a character, if we're going off of, you know, dealing out damage and just the funness, because it's pretty fun to just fly around and be able to move pretty quickly. You can get out of any situation whenever your health gets low, unless you're getting chased by like a Bakugo or Todoroki, because they can move pretty fast as well. But Endeavor checks off all the boxes for the things that you want for a hero that's going to be a strike class. So we give him a grade on the alpha. I'm going to give this one an A, simply because it's not an S, because there's no movement advances. You don't have something like Froppy or something like Deku where you can actually move with your quirk. The beta quirk is going to have to be an S. I feel like this like grenade explosion is pretty cool, and the pillar really allows for some versatility in where you hit your opponents at. The gamma quirk, I think the Prominence bird is actually the lowest quirk of his 3 quirks, but the damage on this is pretty good, but I'd like it if it had maybe more than one shot, and if they got rid of the indicators to the enemy letting you know that you're getting ready to shoot it. The special action is definitely an S. There's no problems with this, and the fact that there's variation with what you could do, 3 different moves that you can do, whether it's hovering, flying, or just super jumping, I think this is pretty cool. So all around, hey, like I said, we can't give any DLC an S unless everything checks off an S. So, you know, Endeavor's going to be an A tier. So let me know in the comments, man, how y'all feel about Endeavor, how it's been since y'all been playing him. And yeah, we didn't unlock Endeavor, so we're gonna be having to use our like daily character tickets to play with him. But it seems like people aren't getting Endeavor easy. They're very much playing with him, and they released a visual letting you know like how they changed the rotation of certain characters, because like I said, they can have 4 role characters at a time, 4 character tickets at a time, and then the rest of them, you know, are just unlockable. So right now in the character ticket, you should be able to get Ibarra with a character ticket. But let me know in the comments how y'all been feeling about this, who's excited for season 2, and how have y'all been enjoying the duos, man. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. We up.